session of the day. And firstly, Administrator, we know it starts a bit hot, and Heston and Lily are going to see if they can work some magic. So we've got 4 sessions today, really exciting, very diverse. First one is by Ruth and Daisy Garrett of the Anjali Dance Company, and they're going to be speaking on including people with learning disabilities in dance training and performance, how to do it and why it's a very good thing to do.
So first of all, we're going to show you a trailer which started in 2012. We hope you like it.
And I gave up being a vegetarian because I felt that many vegetarians were not very kind to plants. There are going to be changes in our garden. I do find it ironical, gardens are getting smaller and smaller.
Hello, I'm Daisy Garrett and I'm a dancer and teacher with Anjali Dance Company. And this is Ruth, who is also our education leader and teacher at the education team. It's a real pleasure to be here and to have the opportunity to speak on behalf of people with learning disabilities. It is good to have a voice in a conference like this one. We have spoken in conferences before, but it is our first time we have had the chance to talk to an audience of academic people.
Our presentation today is about 2 things: what people with learning disability needs to have so that they can be included in dance and workshops, and the things people with learning disabilities can achieve when they are given the chance. In disability arts, all disabled people seem to be lumped together, even though they have different abilities and needs. People with learning disabilities have specific needs when it comes to training and learning dance and making performances.
Now I'll tell you a bit about Anjali. Anjali started about 20 years ago. It is a company of dancers who all have learning disabilities, and it's the only one of its kind. We are based at the Mill Arts Centre in Banbury, Oxfordshire. We have got a main touring company of 6 professionally trained dancers, a youth company called Young Anjali, and an education team of teachers who also have learning disabilities. At Anjali, we focus on the word ability, not disability. We make dance productions and we perform them in London. We have dance in venues like the Royal Festival Hall, Sadler's Wells and the Purcell Room. And we have dance at the Royal Opera House with members of the Royal Ballet. We have performed abroad in Berlin, Madrid and Lisbon. And we have been invited to perform next year in Austria and Mexico.
Our education work is important to us as well. Most of our education work is taught by education teachers who have learning disabilities themselves. There are not many teachers with learning disabilities in the world of dance. In nearly 20 years of teaching, we have gained unique skill and knowledge in the arts of teaching dance, and we have a team of experienced and dedicated dancers and teachers.
We are showing the world that people with learning disabilities have creative talent and can be artists and performers like everybody else. They can do things that nobody would have expected and be who they want to be when they are given the opportunity.
Having opportunities is the most important thing for people with learning disabilities who want to dance. We can't make opportunities happen by ourselves, and without them we are completely left out. People with learning disabilities who want to dance need many different things to happen for it to be possible. And when we have made a list of some of the most important ones. First of all, I'd like to talk about physical needs. Good communication and information. We need to be able to find out easily what opportunities are available to us and what to be given information in a clear and simple way so that we can understand it. Being included. We need to be actively included, not just not excluded, in creative activities like dance, so there needs to be a well-organised network of support. Good teaching. We need to work with dance teachers who are honest and open approached, high expectations, and can communicate using imagery in a creative way to help the dancers achieve their best. Long-term continuity. There needs to be a long-term planning, well-organised and dependable training opportunities, regular long-term class and workshops, and we need to be able to rely on things keep going. Choices. There should be a choice of styles of dance and activities. A good way to reach new students is to have a high taster sessions to give them the opportunity to experience dance for the first time. Good facilities. Classes need ideally to be held in a dance studio or other suitable spaces. It should be in a clear, warm, well lit, ideally with sprung floors, mirrors, ballet bars and a sound system. Transport. Transport needs to be specially provided and must be reliable. Many people with learning disabilities cannot travel on their own and have to rely on parents, carers or volunteers to take them to workshops and other activities. Next are the administration needs of the dancers. The most important admin needs for people with learning disabilities who want to dance are those involved in making it all happen. Everything needs to be arranged and organised for us, including up-to-date memos, timetables, diaries. Parents, carers and others have to keep informed about what is happening, and the dancers should have assessment reports. And we mustn't forget funding. Reliable funding is very important. Regular Adequate funding must come from somewhere, and it must be dependable. It does not help the dancers and the teachers if funding disappears in the middle of a project. And finally, personal needs. People with learning disabilities need a lot of motivation, guidance, encouragement to build their self-confidence. Their needs and wishes must be taken seriously. Dancers should not be treated and activities to keep them occupied. We need to be actively included, and we need to have an understanding and acceptance so that we can make our own choices. In workshops, there should be enough time so that everyone feels they are included. No one should be made to feel that they are valid or respected for what they can do. We need to be encouraged to reach high levels. Many people with learning disabilities do not have much opportunities for change and developments in their lives, and this is a big step up for them.
This part is about the way people with learning disabilities need to be taught. People with learning disabilities need to have good role models who are working in dance that we can learn from. We need to have experienced teachers who know about our needs. At Anjali, we are taught by some of the best teachers and choreographers in dance. They understand, respect and inspire us. Me, Ruth and the other dancers have come up with some things that are important when teaching people with learning disabilities. Here is a list of them. Challenge and aim high. People with learning disabilities need to be challenged and pushed to work and train hard. At Anjali, we are challenged by having to learn and remember choreography. And we have regular classes in professional dance technique. Time. There needs to be plenty of time for everything. People with learning disabilities need lots of time to perform tasks or to learn new material. Teachers may have to change their lesson plans to suit the abilities of the dancers. Clear instructions. Sometimes we go to dance workshops and we do not understand what is being asked. Clear instructions are important. We need teachers to speak slowly in a loud, clear voice. So we can understand what they are telling us to do. Teachers should keep their instructions simple and only do and say one thing at a time, and make sure the dancers have understood by asking them to repeat the instruction back. Use word images. Using word images stimulates our imagination and helps us to understand what action is being wanted and feeling it in our bodies. The teacher might say, be light as a feather, stretch your arms and reach for the stars, or melt like ice. Thank you, Ruth. Repeat things. It is important for teachers to say several times what they are asking the participants to do and make sure they have their full attention.
These are some other things that are important to remember for helping people with learning disabilities get the most out of the dance workshops and training. Acceptance. Dance is a great way of showing acceptance. It's possible to dance and communicate without needing to use words. Dancing is magical. It takes away disability. When we dance, it is asked if we aren't learning disabled. Isn't that an interesting thought? Adapt. There should be awareness of mixed abilities and the needs of challenge each individual. To improve as far as we can, it's possible to adapt exercise without making anyone feel less equal in the group. Being consistent. If it is a regular class or workshop, routines and fixed frameworks should be made up and stuck to, so the dancers know what is going to happen and what to expect. It's good to the same members of staff are there each time. Organisation. Communication and support for parents is very important. Transport needs to be well organised and reliable. Staff members must keep up to date with personal information including health and medication. Teaching staff should be experienced and reliable and sensitive to the needs of the dancers. So there's plenty of support. It is good to have additional person to assist in the class and workshops to help and encourage individual dancers. Praise and rewards. Lots of praise should be given during class and after performances. This will help students to gain confidence and make them proud of themselves. Make it fun. Teaching should be creative and visual. Music, props, games, mini performances should be used. Participants could be videoed and then see playback so they can watch themselves dancing.
Some people think that people with learning disabilities can't be excellent. I don't agree. With the right support and with the right opportunity and support, we can do it.
Things are getting better for us now, but more needs to be done. When I left college at 18, it became harder to get help and information about opportunities. My mother said when I left college, almost everything stopped. There was suddenly no more support. I only heard about Anjali by chance because a friend told me, otherwise I would never have known about it. And my life would have been completely different. If I didn't dance in my life now, I would have been extremely bored.
When I was in school, I was bullied because of my disability, and some students put me down and said you can't dance. But I had support from some of my friends and my teachers, but I carried on studying and got my GCSE in dance. And I also had my parents and the rest of my family supporting me. I was in a mixed dance group near where I lived for a time, but I felt like I was being pushed to the back. It was the same feeling I had at school. My performing arts teacher at college helped me to look for learning disabled dance companies, and I have found Anjali, and that has been the best thing that happened to me.
When I started Anjali, I had no confidence in myself. I didn't know much about dance. The class was just for people with learning disabilities, and I learned a lot of it. It was so much fun. Everything was explained easily and slowly. I had a lot of encouragement from the teachers and my friends in the class, and they gave me so much confidence. This was my first real dance training and experience in performing. While I was training, I discovered that I also had a talent for teaching. I helped with the young dance company, young and classes, and led the education team. I learnt about all aspects to dance projects and organisations. I choreographed my own piece and danced it as well, which was quite tricky.
It has always been my dream to be a dancer. Being in Anjali has turned my life around and made my dreams come true. Now I'm a dancer in a dance company. Now I have more confidence and believing in myself. I have achieved so much since I started. I work alongside the artistic director, and I go out teaching workshops and represent Anjali by giving speeches and presentations. Dance has always been my career. If I had not found this dance company for people with learning disabilities, I would be stuck. I would be doing something like working in retail, or I would be stuck at home doing nothing.
Since I joined the education team, I've learnt so much. I helped others, and now I can plan an education day and teach it by myself. Before I joined Anjali, I was quiet and didn't have much to say. But now I have so much experience, and I believe in myself, and I can do this on my own. I did a lot of planning for an Anjali involvement in a large project in Oxford, which was called the Tree Light, and we did it for the 2012 Olympics. And this meant going to meetings, emailing people, planning rehearsals, and looking after props and so on. I've never worked on such a big project before. It was so scary, but exciting as well too.
All this has happened because someone had the vision to see that people with learning disabilities have talent and creativity like everyone else, and could dance and perform if they were given the opportunity. We think that trying to make sure people with learning disabilities can be included in dance, and it's a very good idea because dance has given us so much, and it has changed our lives, and given us something to believe in and work hard for. Dance has enabled us to achieve wonderful things and learn and grow and be independent and have and travel and perform to audiences in other countries. And to be accepted and respected as artists, and we want to help and inspire others to do what we have done.
The opportunities for people with learning disabilities to work in dance and in arts are better now than they have ever been. But more needs to be done to include people with learning disabilities in mainstreams and arts and performances. There's still obstacles that stops us getting the same experience in dance as non-disabled dancers. Some people think that what we do is kind of a therapy and is a way of keeping us occupied. They don't understand how important it is. Local theatres and art galleries don't often show work by learning disabled artists or performances. Learning disabled arts are mostly not reviewed in national newspapers and magazines, and some critics still don't know how to write about learning disabled dancers. We would like people in the dance world to see that what we do has its own style and special quality, and it needs to be recognised and valued. And as for universities, perhaps more could be done to enable people with learning disabilities to accept on arts or performances degree courses. This doesn't happen at the moment, and it'd be good to be invited more often to universities to talk about our work. People with learning disabilities need to have actively included in confidence and seminars on disabled arts like this one and encouraged to take part. Thank you for listening to our presentation and thank you to the organisers for letting us come and talk to you.
Thank you. That was really fantastic. Very, very informative. Do we have questions?
Thank you both. That was a really interesting and stimulating talk. Learned a lot about the company. Thank you. And just a question: when you do your education work, your teaching, are you teaching mixed groups, or are you teaching only other dancers? So,
Well, we teach. Like we'll go to schools or colleges and we'll teach like people learn. Sometimes we taught like people who want to teach people to dance, so we've taught them so they know how to teach people who want to dance.
so it's a mixed group.
I was wondering, since you've been involved in Anjali, have you found that there are in fact more companies who work with people with learning disabilities, or are you still really quite unique?
I think there's a lot more companies now than there have been.
Question for Melissa?
Daisy, question
Yeah.
for Daisy, as a performer, as a dancer.
Yeah.
How much input do you have into making the dances? So, do you consider yourself a choreographer?
Well, we work with a choreographer and we choreograph ourselves as well.
Okay, so it's a collaboration, so lots of people working together on.
Yeah, we are currently working with a choreographer coming in to do more research called Lee Anderson. So we work with her and we put our input in it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much.